Hey friends, it's my last day, last night here in Utah. I take off tomorrow for home. Had a fantastic last day. Really, really great. And I noticed today that in my mind at least, two things started to become reconciled. One of which was a sense of a higher purpose, which when I say that, there's something about that. I saw a Sadhguru video a month or so ago in which he sort of questions the notion of finding a purpose, a higher purpose, all these terms that especially in the West, we kind of like to use for our path. Because for him, he was like, just be present, be here. If and as things that are important to you emerge, they will be important to you. You don't have to construe them as constituting a higher purpose. You will simply have a devotion to them because in this moment, you know that they are meaningful, and those are things that can endure. And so when I say that phrase now, I'm always a little bit like, okay, I'm saying that phrase again. But what I felt and have felt, I think I've talked about it a bit in my last couple of posts, what I felt is a sense that I'm in the right place, that I'm plugged in, that I have something to contribute, and that there's a lot of work to be done. There's a lot of important work to be done. And hearing some of the folks speak over the past few days was just really inspiring and really, it has molded my own sense of what's possible. It has molded my own sense of what's important. It has put a number of things in context so that I can understand the work that I'm doing and the challenges that I face in a much larger context, which is always kind of helpful, right? It's kind of like, I was likening it today in a conversation to the hero's journey. When we are playing the role of the hero on our journey, every one of the hero's moments of choice, of decision, of action, every moment is pivotal, every moment is life and death, every moment is urgent. And it's not that it's not good to have that urgency, but if we step back and, like reading Joseph Campbell, The Hero with a Thousand Faces, is a great way to see the hero's journey laid out as a kind of archetypal unfolding. In that context, each one of those challenges has its place. It has its time. And it's almost like by knowing that, we can embrace the urgency of the moment even more, because we don't have to wonder whether it means something's wrong. We can just see where we are and be like, oh, look at that. Here we are on the map. Here's where we're going. How do we get there? Oh, we got to do this. Okay. And then it doesn't mean that those moments or that the actual events won't still be intense, won't still require all of our full self to show up. It just means we can navigate those moments consciously instead of unconsciously. That's a big deal. That's a big difference. And the experience I've had over the last couple of days has been to contextualize a lot of what I'm kind of working with, and thereby kind of do the same thing for me. It's like, oh, we're just here on the map. We just need to go over here. okay, there are strategies for that. People have tried and failed to do this in a number of different ways. And they've tried and succeeded in a number of different ways. How, what's my way, what's our way? So that's been really kind of nice to feel and nice to be able to receive. The other thing that showed up is a sense that this higher purpose feeling is really just about the next right thing, which I've done a video called The Next Right Thing. I love quoting Frozen 2. There's a fantastic song in Frozen 2 called The Next Right Thing, sung by Kristen Bell. And it basically says, when you don't know where you're going, when things seem dark and you're not sure whether you can go on, you're not sure why you would go on, it all seems lost. It's the all is lost moment of the hero's journey in that particular character arc. But Frozen 2 has two protagonists, so it's a complicated movie. But when all seems lost, all we can do is the next right thing. And that's another way of saying, be present. Be here. There's actually a wonderful, I saw Finding Dory, which is the part 2 of Finding Nemo, a Disney Pixar movie from a while ago, 2012, 2014, I don't know. A ways back. And there's a similar moment for Dory at the end. She kind of just does the next thing. She doesn't call it the next right thing. She doesn't sing a song about it. But it's that same sentiment. It's that, like, all you can do is the next thing that's in front of you. And that's been showing up for me in a really helpful way, because as I become aware of my own limitations, I also discover that I'm in the right place at the right time, that my limitations are the ones that they are the things that create learning for me in this context. They're the boundaries that I need to transcend, which is why the contexts of my life, the circumstances of my life, find me and create opportunities for me to transcend my own limits. So my limits are not a problem. My limits are always in dialogue with the world, with the universe. They are always manifesting the next right steps, the next right thing. So that's been something that has just kind of entered my awareness over the last day or so, and it's been really gratifying. It's been really it has settled me to observe that. It has helped me kind of put certain things at peace, at ease. And the other thing that's been showing up, oddly, or at least in a way that I hadn't suspected, is I have found some creative inspiration. I've had some moments when creativity shows up. Creativity strikes. And, I'm up here essentially on my own. My wife and child are at home, which means in some ways, my responsibility to the family is not gone, but it's on pause. There's not I can't do a lot to support my wife right now in terms of day-to-day stuff. So that just means my headspace gets to remain with me a bit more than it does when I'm at home in the family. And it's funny because I've been thinking about that too as a phenomenon that I observe in myself, in other people. I've had such a blast. I have such a blast with my family. At this point, my creative inspiration is so inextricably entwined with my family role. And that's something that literally, 5 years ago, before the birth of our child, I simply couldn't have imagined. We just don't know how that works. You just don't know how that works. And it's been pretty remarkable to watch that happen. And I will say, it's also been nice to have a couple days when my head can kind of just lean into certain things and create a certain kind of levity, a certain kind of spark is allowed to come in. So I can tell that I'm integrating a lot. I can tell that my mind has absorbed a lot. I've absorbed a lot in the relationships. I've absorbed a lot in the ideas. And that's kind of I can tell my task for the next, period of time is going to be to let that really integrate, let that really settle into my system. So yeah, that's where I am. I feel like I have something I want to say or want to generate, but it's not there yet. It's not my mind isn't quite hasn't quite put it all together yet. I've been blasted over the last couple days, like absolutely blasted. And it feels really good. But I also need a good night's sleep and a little time to absorb. So yeah, that's where I'm at today, people. I appreciate you. Have a great day. I will see you very soon. I appreciate you.